Stardate 2371.62. The USS Fieri has responded to a distress call from a science outpost on Xerxes 4. A highly irradiated ion storm makes teleportation impossible, so a rescue mission is en route via shuttlecraft. Everything is fine. Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm your game bastard, Kyle.
I am Todd.
Corey.
Austin.
Star Trekkin'!
Yay.
That's what the fans call it. They go to the conventions and they just see each other and they yell, Star Trekkin'!
Is that what it...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we're playing the Star Trek RPG 2D20 system from Modiphius.
Yes, Modiphius once again.
We are big fans of the Modiphius 2D20 system.
And
Yeah.
if you're a regular bastard listener, you might be thinking, does Modiphius pay them? Unfortunately, not yet. But we will take their money.
But they allow me to survive most often.
Yes. Yeah,
Well,
All we need is about 1.5 million more Patreon subscribers, and then perhaps they will pay us.
I feel like if we have 1.5 million Patreon subscribers, I don't care if they pay us or not.
yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to take that first month's check and I'm gone.
But why don't we do it for 12 months and then...
Don't bring your math into this conversation. I'm not trying to hear that. It's a Wednesday.
So we made characters in a session 0 that will be out soon. If you're a Patreon member, obviously you get that automatically. If you're not and you want to hear it, then become a Patreon member. We also create the ship, which if you've listened this far, then maybe you caught the name at the beginning. It's the USS Fieri.
You heard correctly.
It was a ton of fun making characters, and the ship in this game is essentially a fourth character. Like, there's a lot of detail into the ship itself.
Yeah. And a lot of the ship's attributes kind of give us boosts a lot of time when we're trying to do stuff.
Yes. For
Very
example, if you're using the replicators, you can go to Flavortown.
Yes.
There were a lot of names.
Bandied about, yeah.
Some worse than others.
I don't know. I thought the USS Gordon Levitt was great, but
Yeah. Well,
or the USS The Rock Johnson. I don't know why you guys
That's the
shat
one.
on that one.
I wanted
Well, we
that
landed
one.
on Fieri, so you guys fucking decide.
Yeah.
We didn't land on Fieri. Fieri landed on us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted the USS Santos.
Well, we didn't want to get indicted. So, Todd, who are you playing?
Well, my name is Jerry. I'm a Vulcan.
Yeah.
You sound like a
You
Vulcan.
could tell, yeah.
Yeah, it's Jerry. It's a J apostrophe ARRY. Vulcan. I'm logical and emotionless.
See.
Okay.
Emotionless, but not unfamiliar with dramatic timing.
I'm the science officer. I do science tech.
All right.
I think it's the only thing Vulcans are allowed to do,
It
technically.
is. Yeah.
They're never in charge of the daycare on the ship.
No.
Or anything like that. Or they're but like counselors.
Yeah. Not anymore. No. Vulcan counselor. Have you tried sucking it up? Austin?
My name is Dash Kratos, a Tellarite security officer
All right.
on board the USS Fieri.
What's a Tellarite?
Well, that's a good question. I'm sure I don't even have a great grasp on it so far. We kind of agreed in session 0, it's the Star Trek dwarf,
Yes.
except he's really fucking tall.
Yeah.
But they're basically
So
dwarves.
like a jumbo shrimp.
Well, Wookiee might be more accurate.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know, but they're kind of they're very hardy. Like if it was D&D, they'd probably have great constitution.
Well, they're hardy and argumentative, and don't they come from like a rocky planet, or did I create that in my brain?
I don't know.
That's a good question, too.
Tellarite just sounds like a mineral.
Yeah.
As excited as we are to play this game, we're not huge Trekkies. Like,
Right.
No.
like some of these races you could be like, but we had no idea.
It's all right. I'm a big fan of the Tellarite Film Festival held every year in Tellarite.
Tellarite, Wisconsin.
Yes.
Well, that's the security officer,
Yeah.
Austin?
And pretty much he's a hardy guy with a lot of insight and a cybernetic arm.
Now, is your character good at security, or are you Worf?
He's very good at security.
cool.
So you say.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna revise that answer and say, let's see how we roll.
I don't know. Austin in the last several sessions has rolled great. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, nobody fucking comment on it and ruin it.
Well, ever since you ran the Fallout session, you've been rolling great. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Some
Well,
how it goes.
magical radiation on him or
I had to
something.
do something with that dead rabbit.
Yeah.
What? Anyway,
Okay.
Corey,
What? What does that mean? Is that a Mice and Men reference, or is that a Gangs of New York reference?
It's a sacrifice joke.
What?
I pictured him cutting a lucky rabbit's foot off of the dead rabbit.
oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Oh, okay.
I think you have to cut it off a live rabbit for it to work.
You
Magic.
really have to put some work in to understand
Yeah.
Austin references. You just got to think for a second.
I mean,
You'll
I'm
be fine.
the only one who understood the Worf thing.
Well,
I make jokes that are funny to me. It's fine.
Corey, do you have a character?
I'm going to sit this one out, Kyle. Just going to watch what y'all do. I'll take some good Instagram photos, though.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. No, I'm playing the captain of the ship. He's actually a descendant of a character I've played in a previous game, another sci-fi based game. Back when we played Alien, I'm playing Milos Cham. He is the descendant of Cham from our Alien campaign. If you've listened to that, he's a happy-go-lucky feller, and he really likes being your buddy.
Yeah.
He's a booster.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff like as many of the 2D20 games we've played, like this one seemed a little more involved character creation because like you got your talents and stuff, and we created all these from scratch too. But there's a lot of focuses, values, which were, if you listen to Dune, it was kind of like the truths in
Yeah.
Dune and stuff like that can affect gameplay.
Yeah, this game is definitely most closely related to Dune.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say so. It was pretty complicated, not to mention the ship.
Which is a really cool ship. It is a Galaxy class starship, I believe.
Correct. And we had a chance. We didn't want to be a warship. We didn't want to be like a science vessel. So we kind of just chose what the Enterprise is, which is a multi-role explorer.
Well, that is Enterprise in the Next Generation era.
Yeah,
Which is
exactly.
when our game is taking place.
Yeah, we're playing in the next generation era. But the ship itself has talents and all that. It can do saucer separation. It has certain labs and systems that improve like your engines and all kinds of stuff. So that's going to
Yeah.
be really interesting playing the from the starship part.
Yeah, there's some rules which we'll get into later about how doing things like with the ship works. For Starship Combat being the most probably obvious example.
Right.
It's got an endless supply of appetizers.
Yes.
Technically, yes.
Jalapeno poppers for days.
Yes.
So yeah, and as far as the 2D20 systems go, I think Octon, Cthulhu, and Conan and Fallout are all kind of the same feel, but Dune and Star Trek are, in my mind, this almost a separate take on the system.
Largely based around the attributes and disciplines that you combine to make your target numbers with. In Octoon and Conan and Fallout, all the attributes are pretty straightforward as what you would expect from a role-playing game. In Dune and Star Trek, they kind of go their own way. And we're honestly still kind of trying to understand all of the attributes. Like for attributes this time, we've got control, daring, fitness, insight, presence, and reason, which are still generally pretty intuitive, but just less straightforward than things like
Strength,
coordination and
bouncing,
yeah.
happiness.
Yeah, my favorite was the
Punch.
Conan, the characters in Conan that were good at bouncing.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so real briefly, if you are not familiar with the 2D20 system from Modiphius, it's pretty straightforward. Every character has attributes and skills. I mean, they might call them different things in different systems, but that's essentially what they are. When you try to do anything, you combine the two of those. In the case of Star Trek, the ones that are most relevant, they'll both have a number. So, for example, if you're running to dropkick an intruder, you might use fitness and security. And let's say you have a fitness of 8 and a security of 8. You're super good at it. That gives you a 16. So what you're going to do, you get two 20-sided dice for every roll because it's the 2d20 system. You roll those 20-sided dice. If you roll under your target number for the drop kick, if you roll under a 16 on any die, you get 1, a single success. And tasks, like the drop kick, can vary in difficulty. If it's just some Ferengi nobody, maybe the difficulty is a 1, right? He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just trying to sell some loose cigarettes.
Right, but if you're fighting God from Star Trek 5,
Yeah.
Maybe difficulty
be higher.
5, yeah.
Difficulty 5, meaning you would need 5 d20s falling under the target number of 16.
Well, you need 5 successes, right?
Yeah.
Which, if you have certain focuses, then you may be able to get double successes on a single die, right? So if you have fitness and security and your focus is drop kicks, so you've got a focus and drop kicks. That means if you whatever your security is for that roll, if you roll less than that, so an 8, if you roll 8 or less, you get double successes for any die that comes up 8 or less.
I am here to chew bubblegum and drop kick God.
on a shirt.
That's etched on the
Yes.
side of the Fiat.
Yeah, it's like the paintings that use on the Enola Gay or like those old World War II bombers. Like,
It's just
like
Cham.
take that, you Krauts. It's evolved into I'm going to drop kick God.
I don't know, for some reason, when I heard that, like, I immediately heard it in Charlton Heston's voice for some reason. I am going to drop kick God.
You animals.
But there are ways with the rules to add more dice to rolls, change difficulty numbers depending on the context of what's happening, and so on and so forth.
And I'm blanking on. It's been a couple weeks since we did the session 0, or maybe it was 2 days ago. I don't know. Time. I've been on this starship for so long. No, is there like in the other games they have momentum and threat and things like
Yeah.
that?
Of course.
There is. Okay. What's it called?
Momentum and
Space
threat.
momentum. Yeah. Star momentum.
Star momentum.
Yeah.
So for this 2d20, it is momentum and threat. For those who are familiar with us having fortune in Octune or similar stats in other games, this one's determination,
Yes, that is correct.
which is basically 3 points that each of us get that we can spend to make heavier changes to our die rolls.
So you guys ready to rescue the scientist on Xerxes 4? It's completely fine. Nothing's,
Spoiler.
Yeah, nothing's going to go wrong.
Okay.
Cool.
So the three of you, Captain Cham, Science Officer Jerry, and Lieutenant Commander Dash are in a shuttlecraft being buffeted by the ion storms, the irradiated ion storms around Xerxes 4.
By the way, one thing that this may have been something we rolled randomly in character creation. Captain Cham does not like teleporters.
Forgot about that.
Yeah,
did
and
forget
will
about that.
only take shuttlecraft.
Now, it's the three of you. Have you brought anyone else along on this away mission?
Red shirts, for
Shirts.
sure. Yeah.
Sheep and a bunch of red shirts.
Which red shirts?
I think we definitely brought along Mary Hill,
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
one of the better red shirts on the squad.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Long line of red shirts
Yeah.
in her family.
Very dedicated.
And we also have 2 red shirts, each named Chris.
Oh.
That would be Chris Riley and Chris Douglas.
Chris A and Chris B.
Yeah, so if you're just joining the podcast, those are all Patreon members.
Yes.
And they're all going to be fine.
Yes.
So the ion storm is raging. You can see it, of course, through the window on the shuttlecraft. It's this purple-red morass of clouds in front of you with the occasional arc of blue lightning. Your sensors are going crazy. You're not sure how close the ground is. You're pretty sure you're closing in on the beacon from the science outpost. Of course, communications are down. No teleportation is working. Then a particularly powerful wind burst tosses the shuttlecraft like a leaf into this lattice of terrible ion lightning. Controls go dead. The ship is corkscrewing through the air. I assume, hopefully, you're all strapped in securely.
Yeah, sure.
So, who is at the con?
Is that the steering wheel?
That is the command section. Yeah, the control section.
Oh.
Who has the highest con? Because Jerry just has a 2.
I have 1.
I guess that's going to be the captain. I got a 4.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. There's 2 stations at the front of the ship. There's the con and then ops. So whichever character has the highest engineering should be at ops.
Okay, I have 2.
Jerry just has one.
Again, the captain has the highest. He's pulling double duty over here already.
Well, you're on the con, so it's
Yeah.
got to be one of the others.
All right, so I'll be at operations.
All right, so the ship is spiraling towards the ground, which you can now see through once you rip through the lowest layer of clouds. It's this green tangled jungle. If you had time, you might be able to look around for the science outpost, but for the moment, you just are trying not to die. To get the ship down safely, you can roll daring or control plus con.
Okay. Both my daring and control are 10, so either one. I'll go with control.
Okay.
Okay, hold on, buddies. I'm gonna try to get you down. This is your captain speaking. This is Captain Cham. Hey there, Jerry. Are you watching that ion storm there, buddy?
Keeping an eye on it, Captain.
Keeping an eye on that storm.
Yeah, you get it. It's a Vulcan humor.
And that's the comedy jokes.
All right, Captain, stay focused.
The red shirts are just screaming.
Hey, you guys calm down. You need anything? It's gonna be okay. It's me, your body, Captain Cham. You need anything? You need like a handkerchief or something?
The trees are just growing closer and closer through the front windshield.
Hey, have some of these. They always cheer me up. Hey, it's from my country, the jellied beans.
And so Cham throws a handful of jelly beans back to the red shirts.
Ensign Chris is just staring up front. Put your hands on the fucking wheel! Put your hands on the...
Oh, yeah. Sorry, buddies. Haha, here we go. Let's land.
Difficulty 2.
Okay. So my target number is a 14. That's a 12 and a 1, so 3 successes.
Kick-ass.
Because my con was 4, so.
And that generates a momentum, I believe.
It does.
So, do you have a focus that applies to con in this case?
Oh, so crit range is based on, well, it's a 1. It was a crit either way, but crit range is based on the focuses in this game?
Yes.
So it's not just the number and under our disciplines.
Correct. If
Okay.
you have a focus that applies to the discipline, then it makes it
Gotcha.
double successes under the die. under
Also
the target
very
number.
like Dune.
Yes, exactly like Dune.
Okay, I've got a focus in small craft. I'm pretty sure that applies.
This one's pretty sizable for a shuttlecraft. There's a jacuzzi tub, and
It's a third of the Fieri.
it is super hard to get the ship.
It's the guy.
No, yeah, of course. Small craft would apply. So you got 3 successes. You just need 2. So
Okay.
do you have something you want to spend the momentum on, or do you want to bank it? You guys have none right now.
Well, the only thing I could really think we could spend, if there's a way to spend it on to be able to get to the science station easier, because you said we didn't really know where it was coming out of the storm.
Well, yeah, you don't have time to look for it when you're trying to not explode on impact. So you are following its beacon, and I'll say you could spend a momentum to get closer, but the shuttlecraft is crashing. The roll was just to not horribly crash.
Okay.
So with Captain Cham's fingers on the console, the shuttlecraft banks hard, the engines relight, and they come in for a not horrible crash landing. There's this terrible grinding sound as the shuttlecraft uses an open field as an impromptu runway, bumping and banging. Of course, this is Star Trek, so panels are popping open and electricity is shooting out. One of the Chris's is electrocuted briefly. And then with a thump, the ship comes to a stop against some vaguely fungal growth the size of a tree. And there's quiet. And you can hear the steady whine of the reactor on its deactivation.
See, buddy, I told you we'd get you down. Look at this. Your old captain speaking again. Everybody okay? Anybody need anything? A washcloth? A wet one?
You hear someone noisily vomiting.
Yeah, it's okay. We got plenty of paper towels. I stocked up beforehand. I pitch in.
Never doubted you for a second, Captain.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry.
You're my guy, Cham.
Hey, dude, I crashed right into a mushroom.
So obviously you guys didn't come into the atmosphere a million miles from the science outpost. So you have to be reasonably close to it.
Okay. What is the surface of this planet like, Kyle? Is it like a rocky, desolate place, or is there like little happy Munchkin land kind of things happening?
There's a lot of vegetation. This, as far as you know, Xerxes 4 is not an inhabited planet. It does have life on it. You can see a lot of green plants, a lot of unusual color plants, purples and blues and alien vegetation. There's no sentient species or anything like that.
Captain, as the science officer, I'd like to use my science to find the beacon.
I approve. High five.
So you could do that from the one of the consoles.
Yeah.
And while Jerry's actually looking for the science compound, Dash will do a security sweep around the ship to make sure nothing hostile is nearby.
Okay, so Todd, obviously, I think the discipline would be science.
Yes, it would be science, and I will couple that with my insight.
Okay.
And I have a focus in anthropology.
I don't know that would apply in the current situation.
Okay, so what does anthropology mean?
Isn't anthropology the study of essentially societies?
Oh, is that like cultures and society?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I have a focus in computers.
That's a better one.
Yeah, I'll use that. Jerry's very good at space Googling. He's gonna go to Star Google.
He's just typing in science centers near me.
Star Bing. Okay, so my insight is a 10, science is a 5. That's a target number 15.
That's right.
And I have a focus in computers.
Sure.
So here we go. 2 D20s.
Difficulty 2.
Ooh, that's a 13 and a 19. However, Jerry has technical expertise. That means when I attempt a task assisted by the ship's computers, I can re-roll 1 D20.
All right.
Oh, that's an 18. That's one better, but...
Hey, it's a little bit better, Jerry.
Thank you, Cham, but I'm sorry to inform you that the computers are way too damaged for me to do any kind of science.
That's okay. It's not your fault. You're just doing your best.
As you say that, the reactor flares briefly, all the panels light up for a minute, and then go back down into darkness.
That's okay, little ship.
So encouraging.
So, Austin,
Precious.
Yeah.
Dash is making a security sweep.
Okay.
The foliage is about knee high, except for the part, of course, that was knocked down by the shuttlecraft on its crash landing. There's a trail of overturned earth and detritus going back a solid half mile.
Is the detritus chitinous?
Not on this planet. Okay. You're thinking of Zarendra 7.
Yes.
There's some largest mushrooms and things that look like proper trees. You're not exactly in a forest. It's just here and there. There's large outgrowths of plant life. What attribute and discipline are you using to best take in your surroundings?
I'm thinking insight and security,
That works for me.
and I have a focus in survival.
So one of the really good suggestions that the game gave was for things like perception checks and observation to set the base difficulty pretty low. In this case, it's going to be 1. And that just gives you the surface level. But of course, if you generate momentum, you can ask questions. And I think that's a pretty good plan. So that's what we're going to do.
Okay. All right. So then my target number is a 16 with a pretty high crit range of 5. There's an 8 and a 10. So 2 successes.
All right. So you just needed 1. So you don't notice any immediate threats. There's no one running out of the woods with a crossbow or anything.
Cool.
But you have 1 momentum you can spend to gather additional information.
I just pictured like he looks over and a muddy bungo tuk-tuk comes scampering.
Welcome to the Shire, motherfucker.
Dual wielding crossbow.
So Dash has a value that is called always prepared, always vigilant. It's kind of informed by events from his past, which we're not going to get into in this adventure. But he doesn't trust first impressions, let's say. So anything that looks like it could be a possible hideout for ambush or anything like that within like a 50-yard radius, he wants to take both red shirts and go check out before we depart.
Well, there's 3. Just 2 of them are named Chris, Austin.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chris's and we're gonna check things out.
Yeah, that's good because Mary isn't that type of red shirt. She's actually a ramp corporal. So
Yeah, she's just letting us off the ship.
her job will be to guard the ramp once we depart the ship. Yes.
So
in a way, it's the most important job on the ship once it's on the ground.
All jobs are important enough to added. Is that how you pronounce it? It's hard in my tongue, and English is my 35th language.
did we ever define what nationality Cham is?
Eastern European.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, vaguely.
Maybe sort of half Greek.
Well, he grew up on a starship, so he's Starshipian.
So Austin, Dash sees to the east. He's not sure if that's the direction of the science outpost or not, but he does see a blind raised on stilts. Like, well, locally in Kentucky, we would say a deer
Tree stand kind of
deer
thing.
stand. Yeah. There's some vegetation covering it, and one of the doors is hanging off the hinge.
In Ohio, they call that the meth lookout.
In Kentucky, that's what just covers your still.
That's right.
Which would be the best place for observing this area.
Yeah. So I'm going to make my way over to that and just have the Chris's stand guard while I climb up into the blind and take a look around.
You're
So-
not going to send the Chris's into the blind?
they
No,
are.
I mean, it's
they
a
are
little-
fodder. Austin.
Well, I mean, it's a little early for fodder. We run
Right.
into a shroom dungeon or something later. We may need them.
Yeah. Haven't been to one of those since my last fish contest.
Room dungeon.
Trust me, guys. I've been to a fisherman's wharf.
No, that's Worf's brother.
Gets kinky.
Hey,
Jesus.
So the
The
Chris,
name of this episode is Callback.
yeah,
and the Klingons name their families after their jobs. It's like how the English started their names.
nobody knew it, but Worf was his last name. His first name was Security.
There's Cobbler Wharf, Haberdasher Wharf, Streetwalker Wharf.
Nobody knew what Uncle
Hey,
Shit
honey.
Sandwich did.
Uncle Sandwich. It's a good
weird.
band name there.
What the fuck were we talking about?
What were we doing?
We're Star Trekking.
Hey, tracking!
Hey, so steady trekking. That's what we do.
Somewhere there's a very serious Star Trek fan who is just livid right
Yeah,
now.
this is
that-
not for you, sir.
You know what? That's enough. I've heard enough. Not a bit of this that follows canon.
I have read every continuity Star Trek novel there is. I've never seen one fisherman's wharf.
I have read the entire history of the Klingon people. They never ate sandwiches.
I met Marina Sirtis.
Counselor Troy.
Oh gosh, yeah, she's great.
She's
She's a talented woman.
very attractive
Yeah.
woman,
Yeah.
yes.
She's
Yeah.
no Brent Spiner.
So anyway, I was about to climb up in a deer stand.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
What? I've totally lost
We're in
track.
space.
Welcome to Bastard Quest.
Hello, Corey.
Okay. The Chris's are standing guard at the bottom, both standing in this alien savanna, looking around. Distant hoots and calls from whatever wildlife is here.
Are they armed? Or are they just
Of
kind of
course.
looking around?
They have phasers.
Yeah, everybody's
They,
got a phaser.
they don't have them out because, as far as they know, the science outpost never reported any dangerous fauna or anything of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, Earth is still home planet. Everybody is armed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
At all times.
They have, Glocks.
Gotcha.
Glock phasers.
Yeah. You climb up the deer stand, or fuck. You climb up the ladder to the blind. The door, of course, this isn't super high tech. It has a door with hinges. It's hanging off one of them, and from a cursory, you're an experienced security officer. It looks like the impact came from inside, and there are discarded ration tins, a cracked phaser, and in one corner is what you're pretty sure is a pile of excrement.
Ugh.
You never see turds in Star Trek. Just thought about that.
You will in this Star
I mean,
Trek.
Star Wars, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a type of alien in Star Wars.
And Star Trek is a very, very sterile series.
Yeah, it's clean.
Yeah.
There's also scraps of blue cloth scattered around.
Okay, so I'm assuming Dash would actually recognize this cloth as the cloth of like one of the, like a Starship crew member's uniform.
Could be. What's your linen skill at?
Well, here's the way I'm reasoning this. If he's in charge of security, he knows about security clearances, crew designations, everything like that in order to most quickly recognize somebody or recognize an intruder. So I'm going to say he's pretty well fluent in recognizing uniforms and things like that.
It looks like Starfleet fabric.
Just comfy.
And if you're not mistaken, the phaser was cracked being used to hammer open the ration tins,
Wow. Okay.
which are actually pretty easy to open.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else to see, we're going to head back to the ship. But before we do, I'll take a look around and see if I can designate any notable landmarks around. See if we can maybe spot the science station from here, or at least any sign of the direction it might be.
Sure, yeah. Give me another. Let's see. Let's do another observation roll here. Obviously, the observation is not a discipline, but
Okay, so then I'm going to use insight and can I say security again, or is that going to have to be command?
I think if you're looking for landmarks or signs that might logically lead to the direction of the science outpost, I would say that's science.
Okay. Well, I have a science of 2, so not bad. That makes my total target number a 13. I will assume my focus of survival still applies in this case.
In this case, yes, for sure.
Okay.
Difficulty 2.
Okay.
Can we help in this game?
Yeah,
We can in most 2D20s.
There's assisting exactly like in Octon Cthulhu.
Okay. Cham comes over his handy communicator, which is in Next Generation. They just kind of touch their tit and they speak.
It's they call it the boobcom.
Bloop, bloop. Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Basically, Cham.
Hey, Captain.
Oh, hi. How are you today? You need anything? You need like candied corns or I got magnets.
Well, I think there's someone staying in this blind that would probably need some of your snacks, but they're not here anymore.
Okay, tell them to come on over.
Yeah, I'm looking for the science station now.
Okay. Well, you know what? If anybody can do it, it's you, buddy. Dash, you security animal, you. You're like a fancy fox.
Cool. Okay. Are you trying to assist him?
So one of,
Motivation. Fancy fox.
so one of Cham's focuses is inspiration.
Oh, that was
So he's inspiring him.
Obviously.
Yeah. So I think
Nailed it.
rolling his presence and command here would work.
I agree.
Okay.
I think that's well reasoned. I don't know why you guys laugh so hard when Corey spouts nonsense. And when I do it, it's like, well, we don't get your jokes.
I'm basically just doing a impersonation of you. I'm just a parody of Austin.
So remember, on an assist in a 2d20 system, you just
One
roll
die.
one die,
Gotcha.
and if you get a success, then the person making the main test gets to add that, so long as they make a success also.
Okay, my target number is 15 here. And I'm using my focus, so that makes my crit range. Does crits matter, or is it just...
Yeah, crits matter.
Okay. Well, Cham's not that inspiring. It's a 16.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I'll see you later.
With the ion storm's interference, Dash could not really tell what Cham was saying.
Buddy.
And then something about a fox, he's not sure. It's very disorienting.
All right. Well, thank you, Captain. I'm going to look for the science station now. All right. So then I'm rolling 2 die looking for the science station.
Okay.
Target number is a 13. That's a 5 and a 6.
You see, this science team has, according to standard Starfleet regulation, put out markers to lead back to wherever their outpost is, which is just basically a small metal spike that goes in the ground, and there's a little reflective facet on top that blinks every 30 seconds or so. And those are spaced at 100-meter intervals, and you can see them leading off to the east.
All right, crew. We have our trail.
Oh, hey, welcome back, buddy. Well, I was just about to make a toast. Do you want a slice?
Dash and the Chris's make their way back to the ship. While they were gone, Jerry and Captain Cham had some time to go over the shuttlecraft. Navigation is down. You're going to need some components to repair it, or a lot of time and a lot of elbow grease.
Oh boy. Hey, Jerry, do you think they'll have something to fix this at the science station?
I don't know, Captain. I don't see us buying parts from a store on this planet.
Yeah, and I don't want to teleport.
Maryhill says, well, Captain, ionic interference makes teleportation impossible.
Oh, good. Thank you, Mary.
There's something out there watching us. I can feel it.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably a woolly bully.
What the hell's a woolly bully?
It's just a monster from my country. It'll get you.
So that's why we'll need you to stay here and guard the ramp.
Mary, you're the best ramp corporal we ever did see.
Mary looks around. By myself?
Yeah, you're the ramp corporal.
On an
You're
alien planet?
you literally trained for 20 years to do this. You watch the ramp.
I mean, you can close it while we're gone.
Yeah, but you still have to sit on it.
Mary, I'm unfamiliar with your human emotions because I've actually been through the Kolinar, and all of my emotions are suppressed, so I don't really understand this human fear. I hope this helps.
Yeah, good job there, buddy. Mary, you're gonna be fine. You've been guarding ramps. You were knee high to a gremlin. Hey, do you need anything? You need anything else before we go? I can help you. Want me to help you with your Kegels? I can spot you.
You see one of the Chris's behind her just shaking his head. Like, no, God, no.
No, not in that way. It was a nice captain way.
So, Captain, with your leave, I think I'm going to take the team and start following the trail of markers.
Good call. Let's leave.
So the three of you and the Chris's set off. Mary Hill just quietly weeping, trying to get the ramp to raise on the shuttlecraft. It won't. It just goes, eh.
Yeah, you got to push that button like 3 times.
Which would be true if the shuttlecraft had power.
It sticks.
You guys head out into the wilderness. If anything, apparently you landed in an area that was less overgrown. And as you follow the markers, the terrain becomes more choked by flora.
Is it kind of like swampy or
More jungle.
oh, okay?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad we're not in the swamp, fellas, because I don't want to come across a Star Shrek. You know, the Earth hero.
One of the Chris's is laughing wildly. Oh, that was so funny, sir.
You know what I'm saying, Douglas?
Yeah.
The fucking hate in my heart.
I am an anthropologist, so I have studied your human Shrek character.
Some of the distances you get deeper into the jungle, you hear an almost ape-like hooting, like some sort of simian screeching.
Somebody's a hooting and a hollering. Sounds ape-like.
And this is directly ahead of us?
Vaguely.
We used to raise apes back in my country. That's a good eating. They're kind of like a man, so you don't look them in the eye when you're chewing.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, you chew them while they're living.
How did cannibalism make it into Star Trek?
Technically, would be cannibalism, though consuming a primate's got to be real close.
It's not. It's frowned upon.
It's not illegal, but it's frowned upon.
Quick question. Can Jerry use his insight and science to determine what's making these noises?
Sure.
All right. That's going to be a target number 15.
I'm going to say difficulty 3.
Do you have any focuses that could help?
Linguistics.
Speaking patterns of the ape men. Yes.
Yes.
Well, can Cham help in this situation?
Maybe.
Time to inspire again.
I don't know how you would inspire him
You're doing good.
to understand something.
Okay. How about composure?
Hey, just calm down, dude. You can understand the ape man talking.
Maybe you could calm down the Chris's who are a little unnerved,
Yeah, okay.
which doesn't distract Jerry so
Yeah,
much.
but pretty much emotionless.
How
so.
about Starfleet protocols?
Normally, in this situation, the science officer translates the apes a hoots.
I like it.
Okay. All right. Starfleet protocols. I think I'll use my presence
And command.
and command. Sure.
Yeah.
That'd be a 15.
Star Trek Adventure is going to be just a series of harder and harder cells.
Well, he's not one to bark orders, but he's, he's a helpful friend. Body. God damn, it's a 16 again.
You were ignoring the captain anyway.
All right, yeah.
I think he's probably used to that as the straight-laced member of the crew.
How Milos Cham became captain of the Fieri, Jerry will never know.
I put in for that position. Can I spend the momentum to get an extra D20?
Of course.
Cham beat you in the Uno tournament. That was the tiebreaker. It was down to you and Cham to be captain.
It was some terrible. It's like one of those things in a computer, like back in the day. Well, the kind of the Y2K thing, right? So, like on Starfleet, the very top rank and the bottom rank, if there's a computer error, it just like ticked it one back, and so Chan was supposed to be the lowest position on the ship, and it popped him to the top.
Hey, score.
Jerry should have been the captain the entire time.
Plus, when Cham took the Kobayashi Maru, somehow he did it to where everyone in the simulation became friends.
Well, actually,
I told you this story about my Kobayashi Maru. I got kicked out because I kept saying every time they say Kobayashi Maru, I would go, and Tigger too.
Target number 15 with a focus in linguistics, which makes my crit range a 5.
nice. This is doable.
We have a 7
That's good.
and a 19 and a 20.
Oh,
Sweet. So the 20 is a complication.
Oh boy.
So this hooting and is getting louder, and the ape-like screeching as well. Jerry realizes there's more than one. They're getting closer, and unless he is mistaken, they're definitely being made by human vocal cords. He has no time to pass on this information before a rock comes out of the bushes and smashes into Chris's head, splitting it open like a ripe grapefruit.
Which Chris?
Does it matter?
Nah.
The dead one now.
Oh no.
Brains splatter on a tree. The other Chris goes pale, screams, and then you are set upon by humanoid creatures, hunched over, hirsute, protruding brows, and crude bone-like weapons, one of them in the tatters of a Starfleet uniform. Well, we don't roll initiative in this game, so just initiative. Yeah. So they got the drop on you, killed a Chris, but it's your move now. There's 4 of them. They're wielding bone clubs and rocks, though the one in the tattered remains of a Starfleet uniform does have a phaser that he's whipping around and holding it by the business end. Apparently he means to bludgeon you with it.
Oh.
All right, buddies. You know the drill. We've been in this situation many times. Set phasers to hey, cut it out.
Cham does set his phaser to stun.
Sure.
These seem vaguely humanoid, and the Starfleet uniform definitely gives him pause.
Yeah. They look like Neanderthals.
Okay.
Which is impossible.
So he's going to try to stun whatever the closest one to him is.
Sure, one is running at you, hooting and waving around a stick like something out of 2001.
Okay. What do we roll for attacks in this game, Kyle?
Control and security.
Okay. That would make my target number 13. What's the difficulty number?
Just one.
Okay. That's a 4 and a 5. My security's a 3, so it's not a crit. But I got 2 successes.
So roll your challenge dice.
Okay. I've got a Type 2 phaser with 3 damage, so 3
Okay.
D6s. So again, if this is like the other 2 D20s, 3s and 4s don't mean shit.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I got 1 damage, which is an effect.
so when prepared, you can have the effect of area, intense, vicious 1, or piercing 2.
I don't think we were prepared, though.
Yes.
Because we got attacked at random.
So we'll just ignore the effect.
Okay,
and,
that's a good point.
And remember, what'd you roll, 5 or 6?
A 5.
Yeah, it does 1 point of damage and an effect.
Right. So it just takes damage.
Yeah, so the phaser just clips his shoulder. He goes,
Sorry, buddy.
and chucks a rock at your head. Rolls a 20 and a 2. So he does 1 point of damage with the rock. But then he stumbles and falls and bumps his shin, and it hurts.
Dash immediately steps in front of his captain and fires off his phaser at the one that just attacked.
Corey, you take 1 stress.
Okay.
Go ahead, Austin.
Okay, so my control and security is going to be a 14.
Remember, you guys can always use minor actions to do things like aim.
Yeah, I forgot to aim.
Yeah, I'm taking aim and prepping the effect of Pierce 2.
Okay.
Or I guess Vicious, because he has no armor.
Sure. Yeah, no.
And aim adds an extra dice, is that right? Or what
I
is
can re-roll 1.
Oh, that's right, yes.
All right, so target number 14. Ooh, a 20 and a 9.
So you got a complication, but you do hit.
Okay, so I'm going to use a talent called Close Protection, Whenever you make a successful attack, you can spend 1 momentum to protect a single ally within close range. But we don't have any momentum, do we?
I suppose no.
Okay, so never mind.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Maybe that's the complication, Kyle.
Well, the complication is I'm just going to add another threat here to my pool, and you need to roll some challenge die because you did hit him with your phaser.
Yep. So I also have some bonus damage of 5. In this particular game, Star Trek, your bonus damage, I believe, is based on your security discipline, and I have 5. So I get 5 extra, not dice, but I get 5 extra points to add on top of whatever damage I roll.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, Cham has 3. I'm seeing now bonus damage on my sheet, and I have a 3 security, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I remember us talking about that in session 0 and then totally forgot about it.
Right. So basically, the ape I hit, are both his shins banged up now?
Both of them.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
rough.
Yeah, take that.
But he's still up and going.
He is.
Okay, let's see what damage I do here. Okay, I got 3 damage and an effect, and the effect I had prepped was vicious, so I believe I get 1 extra point of damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's going to be a total of 9 damage.
Is your phaser set to stun?
Viciously.
Yeah, viciously stun is the setting on Dash's.
Dashes viciously stuns him 7 or 8 times.
Dash has another value that says, when all else fails, devastate.
Dear Lord. He is the security officer.
He's devastated. He's just whimpering in the fetal position.
Yeah.
I think he's down, buddy.
Dash's list of values are a very sad short story that goes at first from peace and understanding all the way to no victory is without cost and ends at when all else fails, devastate.
I'm glad I quit being in PETA.
And then another one comes out of the bushes to swing a bone club at Jerry. And that is 1 hit. 2 points of stress damage, Todd. Unless you're wearing battle armor.
Fortunately, I'm not.
Is there even armor in this? I didn't even look for armor. In this
no,
armor.
everybody
No,
wears
we're all
shirts.
wearing fabric
Yeah.
shirts.
Yeah.
Turns out there was like full plate armor that Picard could have gotten at any time. He just didn't.
Jerry is stoic.
Well, yeah.
Well, he's now stumbling backwards from this crude Neanderthal-like creature who just clipped him with a rather large bone. It's your turn, Jerry.
Jerry's gonna retaliate with a nerve pinch.
Oh, how does that work, Todd?
The nerve pinch counts as a melee weapon with a 1 damage and the intense and non-lethal qualities. And I can use my science or medicine instead of security when attempting a nerve pinch attack. And I can increase the damage by my science or medicine instead of security.
Oh, okay.
Ah, cool. Okay,
So my science is a 5,
sure.
so I can increase the damage by 5.
Nice.
So Jerry is targeting the one in the obviously tattered Starfleet uniform.
Okay.
Which attribute should I use for this? Would it be daring or fitness or control?
I think fitness. You're having to physically get in there, or daring.
Daring, I believe, is what is designated in the book as being used for melee.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Does nerve pinch count as melee?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so daring is a 9. I'm using my science, which is a 5, so we have a target number of 14 for the nerve pinch. And he has a focus of composure, which I think also,
Sure. He's keeping his composure. He's very just
which gives me a crit range of 5.
calmly walking through the purple fern jungle.
That's a 9 and a 19.
Well, you just needed 1 success.
1 success. 1 damage from the nerve pinch,
Okay.
plus 5
from your science.
from my science. All right, that's a 1 plus 5, so that's a 6.
And goes to the ground unconscious.
Rest well. I really see no difference between you and my fellow crew members.
Hey,
The
come
two
on,
others-
man. Come on, dude.
Get on the other side of the other Chris, the red shirt, and rip his arms off.
Jesus.
Hey, R.I.P. other Chris. Luckily, we got some more.
He's still alive,
Oh, okay.
just screaming.
Dash tries to get off 1 more phaser blast.
All right, yeah. So top of the round. Go ahead, Austin.
Okay.
So, how many apes are left?
Well, they're Neanderthal-like creatures,
Oh, I'm
but there's
sorry.
only 2 of them left.
How many shitty humans are left?
Yeah, there's just 2 of the Neanderthals.
All right. So I'm going to fire my phaser. I'm going to take aim again, which I did not fucking use last time, and let that 20 stand.
Okay, I'm going to increase your difficulty by spending a threat.
Okay.
Because one of them threw one of the Chris arms at you.
So can we help in combat, Kyle?
Sure.
Okay. So Cham is going to attempt to use his inspiration again. He grabs the thrown Chris arm and pats Dash on the shoulder with it.
You got this. Do this one for Chris, whichever one it was.
You hear, I'm still alive!
Yeah, probably.
He's just running around, blood spurting out of his empty armholes.
Yeah, we're probably going to help you after this. The Vulcan can do medicines.
All right, so what?
It's true.
So what are you
Command,
rolling, Corey?
command,
know
and
anymore.
presence.
What you got?
I'm starting to feel a little method here, and I feel dumb. So I guess presence and command, which
Sure.
is target number 15. That's a 7.
Haha, help.
So, Austin, if you get at least one success in your roll, you'll get to count Corey's.
Okay. Target number is a 14. That's a 12 and a 5. So there goes one momentum. Here's a question. Since this is the last round, can I just spend that other momentum to just try and do additional damage and kill both of them?
How do you know it's the last round?
I don't know. I'd like it to be.
Yeah, you can. It's fine.
Okay. So I'm going to add a damage die. All right. So
If you get enough damage, you'll take them both down.
yeah, I rolled 5 damage with an effect, and that's not counting my 5 bonus damage.
So do you 10 damage total?
Yeah.
Well, I guess 11 if you use vicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it look like when Dash guns down both of the Neanderthals?
So Dash was admiring for a moment the perfect form of Jerry's Vulcan nerve pinch and paid for it by listening to the screams of his comrade as the other two move around and rip Chris's arms off. And so he's a little quick on the draw, which means he just turns around and basically like gunslingers both of these dudes, like firing the phaser over and over again. He actually hits Chris a couple times. And
Dang, which one? The dead one?
the one with his arms ripped off.
Oh,
Which
maybe
is
that'll
now-
cauterize the...
Well, he didn't hit anywhere near his arms.
Yeah.
They were mostly face and chest.
Yeah, okay.
But he does take down both of the others.
They go down. The jungle's quiet again, except for the whimpering of the one previously stunned down and the one that has been pinched.
And probably the armless Chris, who's still bleeding out over there.
Oh, he's dead now.
Oh!
Yeah, it was the phaser
Nah,
blast.
quick, we can still help him. And Cham rushes over to the shin-hurt ape.
We should tie these men up so that they don't cause any more havoc.
Let's search them and see if they got any weird shits.
I really doubt they have anything on them. They were using phasers to beat open tins of rations.
Look here, Commander. I'm just kidding. I would never speak to you like that. You're my buddy. Nah, but we should just check him out. This fellow right here is wearing a Starfleet uniform.
I'm gonna check them out.
Thank you, science man.
If you guys tie them up, I'll do a mind meld on the one in the uniform.
All right, I'll take care of tying them up.
All right, well, we'll do the mind meld next week.
Ooh, cool.
Open with that. That'll be a good opener.
Yeah.
Little Vulcan mind science.
With an ape man.
yeah,
It's
Neanderthal.
going to be nothing but like primordial horny thoughts. Hump, hump, hump. Throw feces.
Eat dinosaur.
There's a good batch up in that hut.
Yeah, well, that was our first foray into the Star Trek universe
God bless us.
from a very different angle
You know what?
than usual.
I've been looking forward to this one so much, and
Yeah.
like we've been talking about it for months playing this game, and I'm
Yeah.
very excited about it. I love Modiphius, but like some of the changes in this are very cool, and like we haven't even got to the starship yet.
Yeah,
No.
it just lends itself to good character development.
Yeah.
I like to think this is what Tarantino's R-rated Star Trek would have been like.
Pretty much just
Putting the red in red shirt.
feces.
Well, hey, thanks for listening to Bastard Quest. Well, you want to thank all our Patreon members, a couple of which were highlighted in this episode
He highlighted,
in red.
tore them to shreds.
Well, we didn't. The Neanderthals did.
Well, I think Mary will be okay.
yeah.
I mean, if there's anything Star Trek is known for, it's the amount of graphic violence.
It's true.
if I don't kill
Hey, we
you know,
stunned.
right?
a bunch of red shirts, people won't know it's Star Trek.
It's true.
So, thank you to our sponsor, Barrel and Bond.
Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway in beautiful downtown Paducah, right on the riverfront.
They had to let Stinky Pete, the bathroom attendant, go and now there's Andre the Ape Man. And he'll throw your feces.
He will.
For you.
That's service.
Yeah, he's good.
That's
Good
service.
dude. Good dude.
Well, and thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with some more Star Trek next week. Maybe,
yeah.
I think 2 episodes. This will go 2 episodes, maybe 3. We'll see. We're running the adventure, The Rescue at Xerxes 4, which is the adventure that comes with the core rule book.
Okay.
So I think this particular adventure will last no more than 2 sessions. But
Okay.
we're gonna play Star Trek for a minute.
Yeah,
we're gonna
I'm
at least
down.
get into some Starship combat before we.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that because that seems like a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
I'm Corey.
I'm Austin.